This last summer, I went on the St. Joe River with my family. And we went tubing. And I had my future daughter-in-law with all three of my sons and the two daughter-in-laws and my two grandkids and my wife. And it was a fiasco. But that's a whole nother story. But the river was low and we didn't have enough tubes. So we did what every person does. We went and bought cheap $8 tubes at Walmart, right? And the river was so low because of the drought, and there was times when you had to get out and walk but it was such a slow, meandering river, right? And I was on the river, and it was quite a deal getting my wife in there, her tube, and the kids, the grandkids, and my little 2-year-old grandson was, things up to here, and he was miserable, but we were taking him rafting. And my 5-year-old kept wanting to go his own way, and just, how it goes. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if this $8 tube I'm in right now would make it down a Class 5 rapid. I mean, honestly, I was thinking that. It kind of hit me for a second. Class 5 rapid on this little tube. And then I thought, no, that wouldn't be a good idea. And then I thought, what would I go down a Class 5 rapid with? And what would my wife actually get in, if we were going to go down a Class 5? And what would she let my grandkids in? I mean, would she even let my grandkids a Class 5? And in my mind, I pictured, one of those professional rafts, where everybody's got their stuff on, and they got their stuff, and there's this leader going, left, 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 and he knows the holes, and knows the whole thing, because, you guys have done some of that maybe. And you're up, and you're down, and people are getting flung out, and they're teaching you what to do, and they got this whole lesson before they do this, right? And I was thinking to myself, as I was going, it dawned on me. If our faith was a tube or a raft or whatever, I think most Christians are in an $8 tube. And here's the problem. Our culture is becoming a Class 5 rapid. And this faith that they've created, where I do a little devotional every once in a while, and I go to church a couple times a month, and I, I'm in a home group. And if I go to home group, that's just once a week. I only want to do once a week, so I don't really need to go to church that week. And the spiritual feeding thing, and real relationship. I mean, I got a lot of acquaintances. How you doing? Fine, fine, fine. But, in the culture that we're in right now, that ain't going to work. You see, this culture is going to require us having each other's back and us knowing what we're doing. And us have gone through going through the conflict and the practice ahead of time so that when, not if it hits, we've got each other and we know what we're doing. Because again, this missing ingredient that many of us have in our Christian walk has left us immature. And the devil, imagine adding to this whole picture of Class 5 culture, the devil on the shore shooting at us at every turn. We have a spiritual enemy who's looking for immature people trying to go Class 5 in an $8 tube.